Hi, welcome to this String King video about wax potting. Wax potting is the process of taking your guitar pickups and putting them into a pot of melted wax, and you get all the air bubbles out, so all the gaps between the copper wires within the pickup are sealed and the wire won't move around. That stops the pickup becoming what's called microphonic, which can lead to some feedback and overtones and some problems with the sound, which most guitarists don't want. Some guitarists do want it. Quite famously, Neil Young loves a microphonic guitar, and his pickups in his old Black Les Paul are very microphonic, which is how he gets his sound, but most people don't like it. So I've got these pickups which are from the Harmony H9000 that I've been veneering and refinishing. I've actually this morning put veneer on the back of it. I was going to stain it, but decided that it would be better veneered because the stain wasn't really taking on the wood. So that's all clamped up, but that's another video. So back to the wax potting. So what you need for wax potting is a hob, an electric hob, definitely not a gas hob, because naked flames could potentially be dangerous. You want to use have a well ventilated space, because the vapours from the gas are flammable. It's not likely that they will explode, but you really ought to be safe about doing this job, because you're heating up something that's quite flammable. And what's in this pot in the middle, the wax pot itself, is a mixture of candle wax, just ordinary candles will do, and some beeswax, which you might have to buy. Lots of online retailers for that, and there's no sort of set thing for this, but I use sort of 50-50 mix. I've just put a bit more beeswax in this. I've used this pot before, and it's getting a bit low, so I've added a bit. And then you put it in this kind of bain marie arrangement. So I've got a larger pan with some water in, which is heating up, and it heats up the wax and it will melt the wax. And in the bottom of this pot I've put some beach pebbles, so that pickups aren't resting on the bottom, which would probably be too hot. And you get it up to 65 degrees, and you use one of these, or well, you can have a posh one, but this is just a meat thermometer, and it's got 65 degrees on it, so that's absolutely fine. So you whack that in there when it's all melted, and then put your pickups in. But we're still waiting for this wax to melt, so I'm just going to pause this video and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so we've got our wax up to the required temperature, which is about 65 degrees on the meat thermometer, and the pickup, as you can see, is bubbling away. So what that means is that all the air between the pickup wire is now coming out, and that's exactly what we want to see. And when that stops, we know it's done. And what will happen is we'll drain the wax off this and put it onto a bit of kitchen towel, but what will be left with inside, which you can't see obviously on this pickup anyway, is that there'll be a nice thin coating sealing the gaps between all the copper wires inside the pickup, and that will prevent the microphonics that I reckon are quite likely to be prevalent in this set of pickups, because they're about 40 years old, or thereabouts, 35 years old maybe, and they'll have just loosened up over the years, which is a natural process, and this will get rid of that problem. So there we go, that's how to do wax potting.